Okay, so this is the main point of determinants. How can we solve systems of equations using determinants? And here's what you do. Basically, this is the answers, right? So here's how we're going to label it. This is A, this is B, that's C, and that's D, and this is E, and this is F. And we're talking about the numbers. And I'll explain how this works. What this means is you find the determinant of A, B, C, and D over the determinant of, and this is different, if we're solving for X, what that means is B and D, your Y column stays the same, but E and F goes in for your X's. It's supposed to be an E. If we're solving for Y, it is the determinant of the top. Since we're solving for Y, now it's A and C here, and E and F. Your answers go in for that last column there, for that Y column. But notice how the bottoms are the same for each of these. See how the bottoms are the same? And look how when I'm solving for X, the answer went in for X. Notice how when I'm solving for Y, the answers went in for Y. So here's how it all works. Basically, the bottom is the same for both of these. The bottom is the determinant of the X's and the Y's. So what do I mean by that? That means I just go right across. 3, -2, -1, 1. That's what this is. 3, -2, -1, 1. Alright, the top is a little more challenging to remember, but still not that difficult. And what do you mean by that? Well, if I said find X, that means this is the X column, right? I put my answers in for the X column, and Y stays the same as the bottom. Since I'm solving for Y, I put my answer in the Y column, and X stays the same the entire way down. So remember, it's when we're solving this, it's down, which is a -1, minus up, which is 0. So that means the top is -1. Down, which is 3, minus up, which is 2. When you multiply, -1 times -2 is 2, which gives you 1. So really, here's what I'm saying. X equals -1 over 1, or -1. That's what X is. Well, the bottom is the same in both, right? I just said the bottom of this one, we got 1 for the determinant. So that means that's what the determinant is over here. This one, down, which is 0, minus up, which is -1 times -1, which is 1. So that's like saying -1 divided by 1. And that means that Y is -1 over 1, or Y is -1. So what does that mean? That means our answer is the point -1, -1 works. I plug a -1 in here and here, and I'll get that as my answer. If I plug a -1 in here and here, I'll get that as my answer. That's what that means. So setting that up with this problem, the determinant is of the bottom. So 1, -2, -3, 1. And for the next one, it's the same bottom, right? It's just the values for X and Y. See, I'm putting them in right across. There it is. Alright. Then the top, for the X, right? For the X, everything stays the same. Except if I'm solving for X, I put the answers in for X. If I'm solving for Y, I put the answers in for Y. So then the bottom and the top are the same. Bottom and the top are the same. So 9 times 1, it's down, minus up, which is 14. 9 minus 14 the top is negative 5. Down minus up, 1 minus negative 6 is negative 5. Negative 5 divided by negative 5, I now know what x is. Well, remember, negative 5 is also the bottom over here, because they're the same. So now I just need to find the top. That's negative 7 minus negative 27, which is like saying plus a positive. So I get a 20 on top. 20 divided by negative 5 is negative 4. So your actual answer is 1, negative 4. If you take the time to plug that in, you'll see that that works for both those answers. And let's try it out here again. Determinant of 2 by 2. Again, it's 1, 4, 3, 1. And trying it out again over here, it's 1, 4, 3, 1. And solving for x, remember, the x changes with the answer, and when you're solving for y, right, when you're solving for y, the y changes with the answer. So we put the x's in there and the y column in there, and we make them match up. So negative 1 times 1 is negative 1 minus 32, which is negative 33. On the bottom, that's 1. I'll circle that here so remember that. 1 minus 12, which is negative 11. Negative 33 divided by negative 11, we get 3 as our answer. Now remember, this is negative 11. It's the same on both. The bottom, so that is 8 minus a negative 3, which is like saying plus a positive. So this is like saying 11 divided by negative 11, which is negative 1. So the point that works to solve this is 3, negative 1. So if you plug that in for both of those, that will solve that and give that the answer to you. And when we come back here, I will show you how to do a 3 by 3.